East over Highway 82 Mississippi River Bridge, and you see the sun is starting to rise. We see some cars on that bridge, but it's not too, it looks like kind of nice weather, but I think Clay can tell us a little bit more on that.
Yeah, Bryce, and good morning to you guys. Welcome back to the Delta News. I'm Clay Smith, meteorologist, and we have really good conditions on the roadways this morning. As you can see there, looking at the Mississippi River Bridge, and we're dominated by this high pressure, which is going to bring in dry and above average weather for the rest of the week, really. We are not really expected to see anything in the way of rain, and we also have this system in the northern plains, which is bringing some very heavy storms to portions of Minnesota and the upper peninsula of Michigan. And this is the same system that brought up to 40 inches of snow into Montana and Idaho and portions of Wyoming earlier this weekend. So that is going to move, but fortunately, it's just going to be a rainmaker for portions of the northern plains. And looking back to us, we're pretty much going to remain dry throughout the day. A couple of showers into eastern Texas, but for the most part, the eastern third of the country is dry. And taking a closer look, you can see it's looking great out there. No precipitation on radar this morning. A couple of showers along the Louisiana coastline, but that's the closest precipitation, and that is several hundred miles away from us. And although we haven't seen a lot of rain lately, we're starting to see those abnormally dry conditions show up in the Delta. So we could actually use a shower or two. You can really see the more extreme drought moderate over El Dorado and portions of northern Louisiana. And some of these extreme drought conditions are higher, not extreme, but higher drought conditions are starting to move into central western Mississippi, into Vicksburg. And if we don't see any rain over the next couple of weeks, we could see these drought conditions start to worsen. And you can see our next 6 days is looking pretty dry. We have nearly 0% chance of rain through the weekend, 10% on Sunday, so just a slight chance of a shower. But for the most part, we're going to remain dry, so those drought conditions are going to continue to get worse until we see some sort of a pattern change. And right now, we're currently at 69 degrees in Greenville, that humidity at 87%, and your dew points are in the mid-60s this morning and pretty much identical at Greenwood. Humidity at 84% and those dew points in the mid-60s, and we're at 70 degrees, so not a bad start to the day across the Delta. It's a little mild out there in southeastern Arkansas with 77 in Monticello, and along the 20 corridor from Shreveport to Vicksburg, we're generally in the low to mid-70s, but we're going to warm up very quickly later today. Taking a look at our Mississippi River level, although we haven't seen any rain, we're still expecting the river to rise about 2 feet between now and the weekend, but we're going to stay well below flood stage at about 27.5 feet on Saturday. And for the Yazoo River, we're going to hold steady around 21.5 feet, and that's kind of been the case for the last month or so, so that's always good to see. And today, like I mentioned, we're going to see those near record temperatures around 96 degrees. I know I'm getting a little fed up with the heat, but fortunately, it looks like we're going to have some changes coming up in the next week or so. We will see mostly sunny conditions with a south wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for the rest of the region, we're generally going to be in the low to mid 90s, from 95 in Batesville, 94 in Carrollton, 95 in Cleveland, and 97 in Holland today. And for tonight, it's going to get back into the lower 70s, very similar to what you're seeing this morning. So the next couple days are going to basically be carbon copies of each other, and we'll see mostly clear conditions overnight and those mild conditions persisting with a south-southeast wind about 5 miles per hour. And the rest of the region, we're generally going to be in the lower 70s. We may see a couple of upper 60s east of the 55 corridor, but for the most part, we're going to be around 70 degrees in these next 7 days. Whew. Hot, 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 especially through Thursday. But this weekend we see a brief cool down, but still pretty warm for this time of year.